Today, I'm visiting Pam. Pam is another Sisters on the Fly member. She's located 30 minutes from Lake Tahoe, 30 minutes south of Reno. Let's go in and meet Pam. Hi, Pam.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this interview. This is exciting. Let me ask you, what prompted you to invite me to your home?
Well, I saw that you were a sister that was traveling through my area, and I asked you if there's anything I could do for you, and you needed a place to park.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thank you so much. Your hospitality has been wonderful. I've enjoyed it.
Well, I'm happy to offer it, and I'm new to this area, and I wanted to have a place that could be welcoming for people.
Very welcoming. So how long have you been a member of Sisters on the Fly?
I think it's probably been about 5 years. I first learned about the sisters when I went to the Wild Woman Weekend in Blanco, Texas. And it's a fundraiser for some of the local charities in Blanco, Texas. And it just looked like a lot of fun. They had lots of activities. And there were these ladies that kept asking me if I was a sister. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
So it wasn't even, so you just showed up at a Sisters on the Fly event?
Well, it wasn't a Sisters on the Fly event. It was one where sisters like to participate.
Okay.
And it was, like I said, it was a fundraiser for local Blanco charities. But I guess it was like a group thing. We're going to show up and do this as the sisters.
Yeah.
And they kept talking about the sisters, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah, so you checked them out, huh?
Yeah, so then I learned what it was, and I'm like, that sounds great. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So I signed up.
Have you ever owned a vintage trailer?
I have not. I have borrowed one. My brother had an Argosy that was his wife's grandparents that they gifted to them.
Oh.
And I used it for a little while. Actually, I lived out of it when I was doing some clinical rotations for my nurse practitioner school. And I really enjoyed it, and I've wanted one of my own ever since. Maybe not an Argosy,
yeah,
but some kind of RV trailer so that my husband and I could go and take trips. We used to love to camp in a tent, and then it got to be like, well, I'm not comfy in this tent without an air mattress.
Yeah,
then
more
it's like,
glamping, huh?
I want a little more comfort, like an RV trailer,
yeah,
not just setting up a tent in that hard ground.
Right.
Know? So.
What other traveling have you done?
Well, I've been in every one of the United States except for Alaska, so that's kind of on my bucket list one of these days. We discovered cruising the year before COVID, and we went with a group on a cruise and loved it and wanted to go the next year, and then they canceled it.
Yeah.
So we're thinking we might do an Alaska cruise if that group doesn't get things back together next year.
So that'll complete your 50-state
right.
fast travel.
Right. And then I've been to Mexico several times. I've actually got a brother that lives in Mexico. So we like to go down there and visit. But he's pretty much in the south of Mexico in Oaxaca. And then, and I've been along to the border towns and stuff a few times. And I've been to Europe. I went during college, did the grand tour in the summer during college. My parents lived in the Netherlands for 2 years, so I visited the Netherlands and Germany and Belgium, and we even took a trip to Russia.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah. So I'm missing Eastern Europe. I'm missing the Orient. Love to go to Australia. That kind of falls under my hobbies because I have Australian Silky Terriers.
Oh, tell me about your hobby.
Yeah, that's their homeland is in Australia.
Yeah.
So I like to hike. I like to fly fish. And for the last 30 years, I have been raising and showing Silky Terriers. So I've produced a few champions in my time, and it's one of the things I enjoy doing. I got into it originally because I wanted something fun to do with my dog.
Yeah.
And so
Your dogs are inside now. You want to go get them?
I could.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, hold on just a moment.
That's a wonderful cup of coffee. You know, Pam not only invited me to park on her curb, she invited me to sleep in her guest bedroom and take a shower.
And do laundry.
And do laundry. That's so hospitable, so welcoming. I think we're instant friends.
Yeah, so this is Rosie. She is my current show dog. I also have her mother. I had her grandmother, but she got sick, had a big major surgery, and didn't do well, so she's no longer with us.
Let's see that precious face.
Hey, precious face. She won't put her ears up because she's up on the table. So they usually don't like that as much.
So she had a little adventure this morning, didn't she?
Oh my gosh. We were talking, sitting at the table in the dining area, and my husband comes and says, "You have to come out and see this." This little brat decided to climb under the chimney and got herself stuck. You had to dig her out. So now there's a lot of cement blocks at the base of the chimney.
Yeah.
Now they are mousing or ratting dogs. Yeah, there it is over there. And so I guess she might have thought there was something interesting there to go after. They actually have competitions. There's, beside just the beauty pageant at the dog show, they have different competitions. One of them is called Going to Ground, where they actually build tunnels and see how well the dogs will work the prey. They'll have some mice or rats in a cage at the end, and they want to see how vigorously the dogs will go for them.
I've seen dog shows before. I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
They don't often televise those. They've got all kinds of things. Like I'm hoping to get a whippet next year, and you have lure coursing, where it's, you know, whippets are often used for racing, like greyhounds. But this is a competition where they set up a course, and they've got the little rag on the string running through the course, and they see how the dogs chase it. And whichever, you know, then they win prizes for that and get titles and things like that.
How fun.
So
has she won any?
She hasn't done any of those competitions, but she's won the confirmation, which is like the beauty pageant. She's won those.
She is a beauty.
She's got 10 points toward the 15 needed for her championship. And she probably would have had it finished by now if COVID hadn't gotten in the way and canceled all the dog shows. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Great. What other hobbies do you have?
I want to start gardening. I mean, I've gardened in the past, but we just moved into this house like about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and you're already having a guest?
Hey, we set up the guest room first because we didn't have our furniture yet, and that was the furniture we brought with us. So everything else was in our storage. I like to fly fish. Out here in northern Nevada, fly fishing and hiking is huge. So, you know, there's hiking trails all around outside town. There's the Carson River. Go up to Reno, there's the Truckee River. Yeah. There's Lake Tahoe. There's Pyramid Lake. All these different areas. So my brother, who lives here, we kind of moved out here because we knew we could be close to them as well.
You're kind of in the center of Carson City, aren't you? I mean, we went on a little tour around. You took me on a tour yesterday.
Actually, South Carson City.
South Carson, okay.
But it's, 5 minutes till downtown?
Yeah.
Carson City's the state capital, but it's really got a small town feel, even though it's pretty good size. I mean, it's not huge, but it's pretty good size. Reno's much bigger. It's much more like a big city. But Carson City's got that small town appeal. So that's why we chose to live here, even though I work up in Reno. Yeah. So, but you can fly fish everywhere. You know, it's just right there. Yeah. So.
Great. What do you do for a living, if I may ask?
I'm a nurse practitioner, and I'm board certified in both family and emergency care. And I like the emergency better. The family is kind of your basic and then like primary care. So I got a job doing mobile urgent care, like house call urgent care, with a company called Dispatch Health. And they're a national company. They're in Reno, they're in Las Vegas, they're in all over the country. So
Terrific.
yeah.
Well, like I said, it's been a pleasure having you host me. And did you enjoy the experience?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, I'm new to the area, so I didn't give you a great tour, but I gave you a little tour.
I loved it. We went and we saw those old-fashioned houses that have been restored, and I got to see your city and the capital.
The capital, yeah, and all the good eating places.
Yeah.
And then we went out and we enjoyed some food, and it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I hope you get to do it again.
I hope so too.